Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Angela Lahman, and I'll be your hostess of the Aroma Freedom Technique using Young Living essential oils. I want to share my screen with those of you who are watching online so that you can follow along with a PowerPoint that I adapted to share with you this evening. The first thing to know about me, this is an essential oils and emotions, releasing blocks that could be keeping you back from especially your financial independence. A little bit about me, I was a teacher by trade since 1999, but I've been an essential oil enthusiast since 2007, and officially a health and business coach with Living Well Now since 2012, and a spiritual director and coach since 2016. I am super stoked to present about body, mind, and spirit leadership and also wellness. And I love the opportunity to share with others the practices that I use in my own life. This isn't anything that I wouldn't practice for myself. I'm a single mom of 2 kids. One is 14 and the other one is 11. Both were baptized this morning at our church, so that was a really special opportunity for them. I said to my friend this just now that I've had tears of bittersweet because one of our friends is super sick and needs all of our prayers, so I've been a little bit choked up myself tonight. This is Dr. Benjamin Purkis. He's the author of the Aroma Freedom Technique book that we're going to use. I'm just going to introduce him really quickly. He's a psychotherapist who's been in practice since the 90s. He is an essential oil user and teacher since 2001. He's also trained in EMDR, EFT, NET, ART, neurofeedback, and other energy psychology methods, and has presented nationally at essential oil conferences since 2006 and internationally since 2011. I'm pretty sure I saw him present for the first time in 2009. I saw that somebody had a question on the chat, so let me pop over there and just make sure I'm getting some questions addressed. You can move the picture around, the Zoom picture, while I'm sharing my screen. You can move it where you need to. So that you can see what's on the screen. He's also the author of this book, and you can find out more about this at Dr. Purkis, PERKUS.com. And just a quick introduction, the Aroma Freedom Technique is a step-by-step process for identifying and releasing negative thoughts, feelings, and memories that are interfering with reaching our goals and dreams, and it uses essential oils to trigger a permanent shift in how we view ourselves in the world. So as we know, the response to smell is powerful and automatic. The olfactory nerve connects directly to the limbic system in the brain, and this is where those primitive approach and avoidance feelings live. That's where we learn what's safe and unsafe. In religious ceremonies, oils have been around for years, not just oils, but incense is the picture that's in front of you that are watching live. Dr. Gary Young is the founder of Young Living Essential Oils. Emotional balance has always been a cornerstone of Gary's teachings, and he's created many inspired blends to assist members with this. Gary's been creating blends and learning all that he can about aromatherapy and distillation methods for over 30 years. So we feel like his expertise is unmatched in the industry. Many of the oil blends that he has made have the purpose of literally dissolving negative memories, thoughts, and attitudes and creating a positive outlook so that people can move toward their goals and dreams. Hopefully some of you on this call are feeling like, oh, I could probably benefit from some of that, right? Dissolving negative memories, thoughts, and attitudes that are holding you back. So if we look at essential oils really quickly, if you're brand new, remember that these are the volatile substances that are derived from plants that have the natural smell and characteristics of the plant. They're extracted primarily through steam distillation, and they're very potent, volatile, and versatile. There are 3 usage methods that we teach for Young Living. First, aromatic, to rub the oil between the palms and just simply inhale. So we'll be using that tenting method tonight, where you'll put the oil in your hand and then tent it over your nose and mouth. You can also put your favorite oils in a diffuser, like the one behind me. You can also place oils directly on the desired areas and massage in, and you can also take Young Living essential oils internally, and those are marked by being vitality oils or through your own research. Young Living stands beside and behind a seed to seal promise to families that the seed that we have and are cultivating is pure and perfect in every way. We distill our own plants. Our whole harvest process and distillation process is overseen by us. We test every oil, and the bottle is sealed directly from our company, which makes it the best place to get it from your own wholesale account with Young Living. Some of you might be brand new to Young Living, and some of you might have been around for a while. But again, I want to clarify that I'm not a health professional. I am simply teaching you a practice that you can use for clearing emotional blocks if you seem to have them and want to further some goals and intentions in your life. So keep in mind that the information that has not been evaluated by the FDA, and so we're not trying to cure or treat anything. If anything big comes up tonight and you sense that maybe professional counseling or a mental health professional could deal with some of those things that maybe get shaken from your memory recesses, I can support you on how to point you to the right direction for that. So we get stuck because we hold on to thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, and then behaviors that are negative. And some of those negative beliefs sound like I am poor, I am in danger, I am weak, I am stupid, I am ugly, I'm overwhelmed. Sometimes we'll even say I'm so insane or I'm crazy. A lot of us as women especially put out these kinds of words and phrases to the universe, and then we find it to be true in our lives. And so changing those negative beliefs, in fact, I was just reading a friend's Facebook post today about Brené Brown's new book, and the idea that our worthiness, our enoughness, our hope, our ability to be independent, those are all positive beliefs that we literally have to exchange for some negative beliefs that have been rooted there for a really long time. When we have the same old thinking, we achieve the same old results. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. So what do you want to change and what do you want to do differently? And we have to look very intentionally at overcoming negative thinking. We can fight negative thoughts, we can ignore them and think about something else, or we can replace them with positive affirmations. And those are all great practices, but they don't necessarily take care of it for good. And so what AFT teaches, Aroma Freedom Technique, is that you can dissolve those negative thoughts with essential oils and lessen them, literally lessen them to be impactful in your current state of reality. Doesn't that sound like a great plan? This is a results-based practice that Dr. Perkis has been tracking for a while now. He has found that 1 to 3 rounds of AFT significantly improves the felt sense of how possible it feels to achieve one's goal, that negative thoughts dissolve, and then positive thoughts and attitudes emerge that leads to greater confidence and action. So now it's going to be our turn. What I'd like you to do is get your oils ready and have something to write with. So I usually keep a journal by my computer, by my desk. So a journal or just a scrap piece of paper, whatever is good for you to take notes on, because I am going to have you reviewing for yourself. Since we're in a group setting, we'll be sharing privately our own processes. You can write some of the things in the chat, but I love keeping track of kind of what I'm clearing and what's working for me. In fact, I haven't used this yet, but when I went to the AFT website, I bought this bundle, and Angie Taylor is a doctor of natural health who's working at Real Wellness, and she created this pocket journal that you can actually go through and note your shifts and changes based on your AFT practice and keep track of it in one place. Now, for right now, as I've been learning, I've been using a blank journal, but this is a great tool, and it comes as a bundle with the book. Okay, so sit down, ready yourself, breathe deep, and ask, what do I really want? Or as you've heard some of us talk about with conscious language, what do I choose to make a reality in my life? And we're going to start to look at what a SMART goal would be. A specific, measurable, accountable, relevant, timely goal for yourself. And so as I presented in this invitation to join me tonight in this class, I want you to, what we want to focus on tonight is an intention that you have in creating more financial abundance or overcoming limitations that you have currently in your financial books, so to speak, like your accounts. Perhaps it's a financial block that you have in creating more abundance. Maybe you want more growth in your business. Maybe you're looking for an openness to something new or different that will bring you a level of success that you're hoping for. But we want to start, as you start planting those seeds, I mean, we can all say, I want more money, right? But that's not super specific. You want something that can be measurable, accountable, relevant, or timely. As I worked on in one of my sessions in practicing, if you start with a big picture of your financial freedom, okay, or what you're hoping to look for, really funnel it down and narrow it into a goal that's specific, measurable, accountable, relevant, and timely. And I've been working at the Dave Ramsey 7 baby steps, and so part of my financial freedom, to just kind of give you some ideas, was moving through the steps. I'm moving towards step 2 and step 3 on Dave Ramsey's baby steps right now, and so wanting to be really concrete and specific what it means to pay off all of my debt and also start to save 3 to 6 months of savings, 3 to 6 months of expenses in my savings account as well. So we're going to take about 10 minutes per round on this. So you really want to choose something that is going to be very specific, it's measurable, it's something that's going to happen in a short amount of time, over the next 3 months, over the next 3 weeks, over the next 6 months. I mean, however, even I would say the more specific you are on the time, the better. When you have an idea of a goal or intention in mind, go ahead and write it into the chat or write it down for yourself. And I'm going to keep the slideshow up if that's okay with everyone. I need to bring you all back. There you are. If that's okay with everyone, I just used the Brady Bunch view last time, and I feel like it was easier to get off track. So I thought by showing the screen tonight, that would be easy. Can everyone see the screen okay and move forward that direction? I'm glad to hear that. I can see all of your faces at the top of my screen, or at least your names. So it's really, really great that you're joining us for this. And just let me know, again, in the chat if anything feels confusing. Okay, so set a goal or intention related to what it is you want to achieve financially. I'm going to get my light on. The sun's going down. There we go. With your business or with your financial abundance. And if you feel comfortable, you can type that out. Is it about an income level? Is it about reducing debt? Is your financial picture about just getting clear about your perception of abundance? Is it a clearing of welcoming abundance? Is it specific about a certain project that you have that you want to accomplish with your with a business or with an extra additional income? Once you have that, I want you to rate it on a scale from 0 to 10. Now, 0 would be least likely to happen, and 10 would be definitely going to happen. And I always tell people, you want to make sure that your goal feels challenging to you. This is not a game. This is not a practice where you start at a 10. And this is not something that you can cheat yourself into believing. This has to be something that feels really, really challenging. It stretches you. Maybe at the beginning of our AFT practice, you are at a 2 or a 3 on a scale from 0 to 10. Maybe you're at a 0. And if you're not, what specific element could you add that makes it even harder for you? Does that make sense? If you're having difficulty with this, you can use Clarity Oil Blend. There's another blend from Young Living called Into the Future, or even Magnify Your Purpose. I have Highest Potential going, also Fulfill Your Destiny. So whatever oils they are that help you think about the kind of bigger picture of your goals in the world, put those out there. And then when you've got a scale, a low number between 0 and 10, we say, 0 being least likely and 10 being a positive definite, go ahead and type that into the chat. And I know the chat's kind of hard to find now that we have the screen rolling, but I think you can pull it up if you hover your mouse over top of the the rules at the bottom into the chat, it'll pull it up as a separate window. You guys finding it okay? Great, you're getting it. 3s and 2s, I love it. And I promise that's not a sadistic loving it. That is truly a thank you for being honest. Thank you for being on the journey. Thank you for being willing to choose something that feels really, really challenging to you. Thanks, Elizabeth. 2, hi. Super fun. Remember that AFT is about enabling you to be your best self and allowing you to complete any goals that you set. So we are choosing through this process to help you achieve the goals by showing you how to overcome the inner resistance. So if you're at a 2 or a 3 to start this right now, that's okay, because we all think we should be at a 10 on something, but it takes us a while to break it down. When we formed those beliefs, attitudes, and thoughts, those were protecting us from unpleasant feelings, and then they've limited us from moving forward. So we're going to break through the emotional charges, and we're going to help achieve hidden dreams within. Thank you. Great. Awesome. So we're going to start at this is our step 1, where you've set your goal or intention. You've got that written down for yourself, and you've rated it on a scale from 0 to 10. The next step, I'm drawing all over my screen. How did I do that? That was cool. The next step is to listen for a negative voice that tells you that this isn't possible. What's the first thing that you hear when you say your intention out loud to yourself, or write it down, and listen for the negative voice that tells you this is not possible? You can write that down, the first thing that you hear. You can also type it into the chat. One that tells you why this cannot happen, why this goal is unreasonable. Thanks, Deborah. Yeah, you'll never do it. You've quit before. No one you know has ever been successful at it. We tell ourselves a lot of that negative, niggling voice tells us a lot of untruths, but we've got to write them down and be honest with it. Yep, I'm already spread too thin. Absolutely. Yep, you've tried this before. Thanks, Georgia. Step 3 then, after you've written down or acknowledged what the negative voice says, now what I need you to do is to notice how you feel when you hear the negative voice. How does it make you feel? Now I'm going to show you, I think this AFT feelings wheel is pretty powerful. So I'm going to show you, I don't know, can you see it with all the colors on it? Is it kind of smallish? Let's see if I can make it a little bigger for you. Okay. Yeah, I feel guilty. Yep. Over here, we can feel inferior. We can feel angry about that negative voice. We can feel anxious, insecure. And pick one of those feelings and write it down or write it on the screen. Doubtful. Yep, inadequate, frustrated. Yep. Yep. When you've chosen how you feel about the situation, let's go back to our screen. Oh, look, I put it on there. I'll remember that next time. That was really very well planned of me. Yeah, round 2 will be a lot faster. All right. Now what I want you to do is I want you to acknowledge that feeling, and I want you to decide, sorry, let me go back, where you feel it in your body. Where do you feel that feeling in your body? So sometimes people describe our body center as being our chakra centers. So it could be that you feel it in maybe as a stress or tension kind of in your head area. Sometimes we divide then that middle section, the trunk of our body, sometimes the lower extremities, the outside, but where do you feel that emotion in your body? Thank you for choosing really helpful and helpful feelings. And now find where you feel it in your body. Great. Chest, stomach, head, and throat. In your stomach and in your throat. Find one, see if you can really hone in on the place where it is first. We're going to do this a couple of times. So if you want to focus on where you feel it in your stomach and that particular emotion, that'll help you really specify where it is. Feeling doubtful in your heart chakra, feeling frustrated and holding it in your upper chest. Now, once you have located where you feel it and how you feel, so the feeling and where it is in your body, I want you to drift back to an earlier time where you felt the same way. It could have been recently, or it could have been long ago. So an earlier time where you felt the same way, the same emotion in the same part of your body. Find a snapshot of a time when you felt the same emotion in the same part of your body. And keep in mind that it could be an image, it could be a movie playing, or it could simply be voices that you hear. And once you have a memory chosen, tell me in the chat that you're ready. You can just type ready or okay. It's really important that you choose the memory prior to our next step. So again, focusing in on what that negative feeling is when you heard that negative voice, really focusing in on where you feel it in your body, and a memory of a time that you felt the same way, that was either recently or long ago. Keep in mind it can be images, movies, or voices. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Got 4 of you ready. 5, 6. Awesome. So please go ahead and grab your memory release blend, keeping in mind that you're going to use equal parts of frankincense, lavender, and StressAway. So 1 drop of each into your palm. And I like to put it into my left palm. That's how I receive oils. So 1 drop of StressAway, 1 drop of frankincense, and 1 drop of lavender. Or if you've pre-mixed it like I have, I just rub a little bit in my palm like this. And then you're going to tent your hands over your nose and mouth and close your eyes, focusing in on the snapshot, the feeling, the negative thoughts, and where you feel it in your body while you smell the memory release mixture. Just breathe the mixture in as you focus on the snapshot or the movie, the feeling, the negative thoughts, and where you feel it in your body. Allow yourself to feel whatever feelings surface. Allow them to just pass through you as you smell the oil blend. Ride the wave of emotion even if it gets intense. Just breathe in, focusing on the memory, the feeling, and the negative thoughts. Notice what starts to happen to the image and how you feel in your body. When you feel a shift of some sort, you can lower your hands and write about it or type in for us. Are you noticing any new beliefs starting to emerge or creative ideas that are surfacing related to your original goal or intention? Allow the feelings to just pass through you as you smell the oil blend, and notice what happens to the memory and how you feel in your body. Notice what happens to the image, and lower your hands when you felt a shift of some kind. If you had any new beliefs or shifts happen that you want to share with us, I'd welcome you to put them into the chat. Or did you notice any creative ideas surfacing that are related to your goal or intention? New phrases from Deborah. Thanks for sharing those. I have what it takes. It will happen. I am enough. New words refuting what the feeling, the memory, where you felt it in your body. What other shifts did you notice? What's happening to the image and the thought and the feeling from the beginning? The stomach doesn't feel the same. The feeling dissipated. So now feeling more calm and relaxed and more focused. Thanks, Angela. New phrases in response to. And Deborah and Georgia, I just encourage you again to make sure that we're not just replacing old thoughts, but we're dissolving those memories that were there before. And this is those new creative ideas that are coming out. That's fantastic. I love that. I'm capable. I'm okay. I can do this. Yeah, fantastic. I appreciate everyone's participation so much. That this is a rich and wonderful way to share a Sunday evening together. So thank you. So now what I'd like you to do is state your original intention. Go back to that SMART goal or intention that you set related to your financial abundance or a business goal that you might have, and state it aloud to yourself and rate it again from 0 to 10. 0 being least likely to happen and 10 being a most definite. If you'll tell us your number in the group chat, that would be fantastic. Maybe you've noticed that it's increased. Maybe the first round made it decrease because it brought up some more doubts and fears. That's okay. Hang with the process. 5, 6, awesome. So far we're going up from what I remember, because I think we were at 2s and 3s before, up to a 5. Great progress. Way to be patient with yourself. Great, Elizabeth. Back down to a 1, a 6. Oh, you were at a 0 before. Were you at a 0 before? No, you were at a, do a dash. You were at 2 and down to a 0, or down to a 1. Okay, and then 6 and a 5. And that's okay. As we get into the second round, know that that's normal, because like I said, and Elizabeth and I've had this conversation before too, sometimes we, depending on our scenario, we can get off on tangents and we need to keep our brains focused. So Elizabeth, for you, I'd say maybe a drop of clarity or something. Or maybe not clarity, maybe highest potential, maybe something that would just help you focus in abundance, even to focus on where you're headed next. Okay. And I'm chuckling a little bit, but that's what makes this process so rich and rewarding, is when you have these other blends to just sort of get very specific about what we're changing here and what we're shifting. Awesome. So we're up to 4s and 5s and 6s. All right. So we're going to do round 2 again. And I want you to, and so the same process again, I want you to listen for the negative voice that tells you that this is not possible. So if your goal is this, and you've already cleared the first excuse from your negative voice, what's the next negative voice that tells you that this is not possible? Notice the first negative thought that automatically comes up, the one that tells you why this can't happen. You can write it, or you can write it in the chat, or both. Round 3, notice how you feel when you hear that negative voice. How do you feel when you think, oh, I didn't put it in that time? How do you feel when you hear that negative voice? And when you think about the negative thoughts? People will be busy. Maybe Lisa is part of the Christmas and the holidays. It's a busy season. Maybe that's what's popping up. So how do you feel when you think about the negative thoughts? And then notice where it is in your body. So Elizabeth's identifying that it's discouraged in her solar plexus. Frustrated, Angela says. Lisa, how do you feel about that negative voice? There's that negative thought. Skeptical. And I feel it in her head. Good. Thank you for identifying that. Deborah, feeling doubt in the gut. Yep. Solar plexus, another doubt. So remember, solar plexus is here, kind of central doubt in yourself. So let's focus in on the doubt of that and solar plexus. Really get clear about that if that's insecure. Anxious in my chest. Thanks for typing that in too. So moving back then, notice where you feel the negative feeling in your body. If you haven't identified that yet, most of you seem to be on that track. And so now what I want you to do is drift back to an earlier time. It could be recently or long ago when you felt the same way. Find a snapshot or movie of that time. Close your eyes and focus on the snapshot, the feeling, the negative thought, and the bodily sensation while smelling the memory release essential oil blend mixture. Or you could also use release or inner child if you choose those. But you can certainly use the memory release mixture again. Remember that that's an equal part frankincense, lavender, and StressAway. Allow yourself to feel whatever feelings surface and let them pass through you as you smell the oil. Ride the wave of intention and emotion, even when it gets intense. See what happens to the image and how you feel in your body. If you want to use additional oils, you may choose that as well. Remember, keeping in mind that release and inner child are two recommended blends. Notice new beliefs starting to emerge and find the light breaking through the memory. Notice any new beliefs that are emerging and identify creative ideas that are related to your original intention. When you finish this part, you can put your hands down as a signal to me that you're ready to move on. Take a minute to write it down for yourself. Write it down for us if you choose that. Keep your mind, go back and read the original intention or goal. Elizabeth, great insight. Yeah. If you want to type these in, we'll take a little bit of time to review these. Elizabeth said, I realized with my previous memory, I chose to limit myself. It wasn't how it just happened. I made a choice. So ownership came to you, clarity with that. Awesome. So when you go back to your intention, when you go back to your goal, read it again and rate it from 0 to 10 based on how likely it seems that it will happen or manifest. And if the number is less than 8, we'll return to the step again and identify any other additional negative thoughts. So go ahead and type those in, and we'll plan to do at least one more round as a group. We're moving up a little bit to a 7. A new phrase for Deborah from Philippians, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Elizabeth from 0 last round to 5 here. That's powerful because that shows huge momentum forward. Up to a 6, Jen, thanks for putting that out there. Up to a 7 and a 6. Great. Great. Thanks for the feedback. Yep, Deborah, 6, 7. It's okay to own a 6 this time around and see how far you move it this next time. I appreciate, thanks, Dawn, up to a 6. Okay. 7, Tara, thank you. All right. So let's move now. Whoops, let's go back. We're going to go back to, do you guys like the slides? Are those helpful? We'll stick with the slides for this, okay? So we're going to state that original intention. Great. And we're going to rate it 0 to 10. Most of you have already done that. And we're going to move now to our last round together as a group. Remember to, on the second step, to say the goal out loud and notice the first negative thought that automatically comes up. So say it again. And then what's the negative thought that automatically comes up, and the one that tells you why this is not possible? Why can't this happen? Identify how you feel when you think about that negative thought or hear that negative voice. Here are some words that you can use. It's okay to start to notice how sometimes when we've processed through some of the negative stuff, sometimes anger is a motivator and pushes us forward. So it's okay to choose, if you hear the negative voice and it causes determination, causes you to feel excited or hopeful or optimistic, those are okay things as well. It can also still be those feelings of selfishness, critical, insecure, anxious. Those are all part of this process as well. But identify how you feel when you think about the negative thought. Notice where you feel the negative thought in your body. Great. And you can keep putting them into the chat. Notice where you feel the negative feeling in your body. So Raquel, I'm going to encourage you to, lacking stability, make that into a feeling. Going back to that feelings chart, choose, thinking about Dr. Perkis's teaching, in unstable, insecure, anxious, unbalanced. He goes back and forth. He wants it to be really specific about a feeling as opposed to a judgment of yourself. Does that help a little bit? Scared, feeling it in your gut. Unstable, unbalanced. Yeah. If the more you can hone in on what that feeling is, Raquel, that's better for you to clear it more easily. And yeah, in your root chakra in that stability place. So it makes sense. But yeah, unbalanced. So drift back to an earlier time, either recently or long ago, when you felt the same way. Find a snapshot or movie of that time. So again, Raquel, as you consider it in your root chakra, what is the feeling associated with that? As you feel it in your chest, Angela, and you're tapping into the scared, what's a time that you felt the same way? And it was scared in your chest. So step 6 is to close your eyes and focus on the snapshot, the feeling, the negative thought, and the bodily sensation while you smell the memory release essential oil mixture. So if you haven't used another drop of each in a while, do that. You may also use release and inner child for these second and third rounds if desired. Cup your hands to your nose and mouth and focus in on that snapshot, the feeling, the negative thoughts, and the bodily sensation while you smell the blend. Just breathe it in. Allow yourself to feel whatever feelings surface. Let those feelings just pass through you as you smell the oil. Ride the wave of emotion, even if it gets intense. See what happens to the image and how you feel in your body. Notice new beliefs starting to emerge. Find the light breaking through the memory. Do you get any new creative ideas? Go back to your original intention. Read it aloud. And rate it on a scale of 0 to 10. 0 being never going to happen, to 10 being a most definite that it could happen. Eight, 9, 8, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 8. Huge breakthroughs, you guys. Awesome. Good for you. Yeah, pushing toward a 9, Raquel. That's what I'm going to call an 8.5. It's awesome. I want to acknowledge that as we move on to this final round of what's called our affirmation stage of AFT, if you are still left at that 7 mark and you feel like maybe there's some still negative thoughts that are creeping in, you can go back after this call, and even with our affirmation in place, what we're going to do now, you can go back and do more rounds to tuck that down until you are at a 9 or a 10 at the top of the scale from 0 to 10. But we're going to move forward to teach you the process. And then, like I said, I'll have a disclaimer at the end, but it's really great to have this process in mind for anything else that you might be facing, or if you want to come back and revisit some things that came up tonight. So we're going to create an affirmation that expresses this new positive belief that you wish to instill. So it might be something that came out in the creative thinking after you had cleared a particular memory. It might be almost the same phrasing as your original intention or goal. It should be short enough that you can access it easily. You're going to be using this a couple of times a day to really anchor it into your belief system. So once you've created your affirmation, you can put some ideas. I like affirmations that start, and I don't like affirmations that start with I want or I'll try. I choose, I am, I will be. Those are my favorite. I create, so that you're giving yourself affirmations of action. I hope doesn't work. I will, I create, I am, I choose. Let's see if there's some back here I could give you. Those are some of my favorites. Some affirmations. I am productive and focused today. I learn easily and remember what I have learned. I am a blank and blank woman. I am peaceful and kind. I am abundantly blessed. I am abundantly grateful. I choose to be radiant. It has to be in the present tense and describe a positive quality you want to exhibit rather than a negative quality you wish to avoid. To find a good affirmation, you can also ask, what is the positive voice saying now? I love how Dr. Perkis says, this is your inner wisdom speaking. Once you clear out the negative voices, it is much easier to hear the positive guiding voice within. Deborah, you were right on with, he says, some people describe this as their intuition, their logical mind, or even the Holy Spirit. In fact, those who have a biblical foundation may have a scriptural verse come to mind, such as, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Whatever you have spontaneously heard during the clearing is the right affirmation for you. I am organized and efficient. Elizabeth, fantastic. I inspire others for success. I love it, Lisa. Powerful. Once you have your affirmation in mind, how's everybody doing with that part? I am choosing to create prosperity for myself and my family. Or Raquel, just I create prosperity. Or if the choice, I mean, you can choose it or you can just create it. Whatever resonates in your house, girl. In your house. Yeah, your house, your temple, your body. I thought I slipped, but I don't think I did. I choose to be focused and capable. Yes. Great, Angela. What a great model you are for your sweet girl sitting there with you, too. I love all the daughters in the house tonight. That's super fun. It's totally a mother-daughter thing for sure. Great, great steps that we can take. Once we have that affirmation, we're going to smell. If you have lemon from the Premium Starter Kit, this is the best from the Premium Starter Kit to use. Although Dr. Perkis says anything that just sort of fires up your brain, he prefers this one out of the Premium Starter Kit. You could also use Transformation Oil Blend or Believe Oil or some other powerful oil that you have that helps you to focus on what's next. Choose to live a balanced life, Georgia. I love it. I love it. You guys are rocking these affirmations. So this is where I shut my curtain so that my neighbors don't think I'm completely crazy. We're going to actually, there's a TED Talk about using a power pose to accompany an affirmation. And of course, we're using oils to anchor it in even further. But we're going to choose a power pose, which could be something, something like standing with your arms above your head. Sorry, this is where it's kind of hard to see. With your arms above your head, you might choose a Wonder Woman pose. You might choose a yoga pose like tree pose, like a balance pose, something that you can hold without tipping over for 2 minutes because we're anchoring in this affirmation. So what we've done so far is we've cleared out the negativity and we've cleared out the blocks. Now we're anchoring in this new choice that we're making to affirm our intention or our goal. So we want to do that with, like I said, either lemon, transformation, believe is another one, abundance would be another one. But we're going to take a minute to smell the oil. Another one I like is warrior. So warrior pose, if you're a yogi person, you can put your legs apart and stand with your arms out to your sides. Like I said, lots of different, just Tadasana. Sometimes people prefer their hands at their heart like this in a prayer pose. But when we do it with our bodies, we get our whole selves engaged. Oh, I love it. I see some other, I'm choosing creative success. Whatever you want to anchor into. I love it, Deborah. And we're going to say those affirmations to yourself out loud. I'm going to time us for 2 minutes and we're going to wrap up our time. So choose your Wonder Woman, your freedom, your centered, your balance, whatever it is you want to choose. But make sure to use a different oil that's not the memory release blend, something that's really going to ignite your senses and really drive this anchor of affirmation in. I am abundant. I am choosing creative success. I choose to live a balanced life. I choose to be focused and capable. I am choosing to create prosperity for myself and my family. I inspire others to success, for success. I am organized and efficient. I am abundantly grateful. And just keep saying it to yourself out loud. One more minute. Maybe 2 more times through it, and then you can have a seat to wrap up our time together. The last step of our AFT time together today is to make a plan and then choose to take action daily. When you repeat this affirmation for 2 minutes each day with confidence, morning and night, while you stand in that power posture, you do that for at least 3 consecutive days or until you update your affirmation. But don't stop doing your affirmations. Keep those consistent morning and night. In fact, a little worksheet that you can use where you write your affirmation down, and then it's a reminder to repeat it for 2 minutes, and then there's a place on there for you to mark the date and check off when you did it in the AM and in the PM. And then you can notice if your affirmation has changed and what your next one is, and any notes and inspiration. So in your own journal right there, you can go ahead and write that down, whatever your affirmation is, and then give yourself, today's the 29th, so you'd give yourself 10/30, 10/31, and November 1st, and give yourself AM and PM for your column headings, so then you can check off when you accomplish reading this affirmation to yourself. Choose the same oil blend to anchor it in. And then at the bottom, give yourself space to write your next affirmation and any notes or inspirations that come to you during this time. And then to accomplish what you're setting out to do, going back to your goal and intention, daily action will keep you moving forward. The affirmation will anchor in this belief about yourself, but the action that you put into play will create the reality you hope to see. So I'm going to come back to our Brady Bunch view and just let you know that if you do want to get started with Young Living, you don't have a kit, you've enjoyed watching tonight and you want to learn more about that, or you want to, and I guess what I want to show you, I guess I'll keep showing you this because I've got a couple of key things. If you need to go, I want to honor that, but if you'd like to stay with me just a little bit longer, I want to show you quickly what this looks like. Because sometimes questions people have about using essential oils for emotional balancing are, what do I use? How to apply them? Can I teach others? Can I build a Young Living business? Can I get free from emotional blocks related to this? And how do I be more connected to my purpose in life? So with my Smart and Spiritual Women's group, I really intend to make this a place where we express wholly and fully who we are, and how we are understanding our financial independence in the world, and just call us to account to each other. And so if you find that the essential oils are helpful to you and you have more questions about this, you're welcome to reach out to me. Also, sometimes people wonder after this point, after you've gone through this AFT, if you want further follow-up with me. I'd love to hear how you feel in a couple of days. If you're interested in scheduling other sessions, if you have groups that you want to work with. I'm enjoying this new this new modality for myself more than anything, and just love to teach it and also learn it along with everyone else. It's really, really easy to grab the book yourself and take groups through it. The process is duplicatable, so we love that as well. And I also want to remind you that these were some of the oils that we used tonight: lavender, frankincense, and StressAway for that memory release mixture. I posted this in the group a few days ago. Inner child and release, and then also lemon, valor would be another one for your anchoring of your affirmation. We also used transformation or believe is another choice as well. And it's super easy to do this with just the premium starter kit as well. I'm loving that everybody's enjoying this. This is great. Your chats are awesome. Yay, good, good, good. I love you all too. This is super great. I know, so many great tips. Remember, wholesale membership with Young Living is super easy to come by. Let me know if you have more questions. Ordering any of these products through our monthly ordering process is also option. And right now it's October. We've got some freebies coming your way with Young Living as well. But a reminder to go to aromafreedom.com for more information on the certificate program that Dr. Perkis adds. And then you can also tap into our resources with Living Well Now. And there are some ideas there. So really great things that are coming up for our team, but also just for each other and supporting one another. So thanks so much again for being with us. I'm going to stop the recording. And then if you have questions and you want to come live, I can chat for a little bit. Thanks for letting me extend the time just a little bit over our 6 o'clock time limit. But really, really appreciate all of you.